Shayo.
And of course, this is the place where we believe that all the couples out there have a chance to live a long, happy life together.
Oh yeah, at Grateful Marriage or Live Your Best Marriage, we believe that every couple has a chance, or every marriage has a chance to be awesome and to be fulfilling.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And there are other ways that you guys can connect with us. You can find us on Facebook. Live Your Best Marriage is the name of our Facebook page. You can like that to stay updated. And you can also find us on Twitter. I'm at Whitney Shayo.
And I'm at Pesa Shayo.
Of course. And you can also subscribe to the blog at liveyourbestmarriage.com.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, and also, we just wanted to bring this up again that in September, we have a free video series coming up that we are super excited about. And you'll be able to find that on the blog. You'll just enter your email address and then it'll come to your inbox. And one of the reasons why we're so excited is because it's just going to go back to the basics about what does love really mean and what is marriage to begin with. And so I got that idea because I read an article one day from the New York Times and they were talking about open marriage. And I was just like, oh my gosh, how cool would it be to have a series that just talks about the true meaning of commitment? And so stay tuned for that. We'll definitely be updating you on that.
Cool, awesome. Because the way you said it, how cool is that? It was like you're excited about open marriage.
No. How cool would it be for somebody to actually speak up and talk about what marriage really is? Because in my opinion, open marriage is an oxymoron. Those two words do not belong together.
Okay.
So, how cool would it be if somebody actually has the courage to go against that message and talk about the true meaning of commitment? And we'll also be bringing up a lot of things from the Bible as well. So, anyway, I'm just super duper excited about that.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be coming up in September.
So we are doing this podcast just before we go for a date night. So what did you want to talk about in the podcast?
So sometimes a lot of couples wonder, well, what are we even going to talk about if we dedicate a whole evening to a date? I mean,
yes.
How different is that going to be not having the kids? Mm-hmm. And we're not really allowed to talk about work and things like that. We're just supposed to dedicate that time to one another. So what are we going to talk about? And I found this list of questions that couples can ask one another on date night. And some of them are not, I don't know, some of the questions I found are not related to marriage at all. They're just kind of silly. But the ones that are,
so is it like some like a date night game? Or
so
what?
It's kind of like a quiz.
Okay.
And you just take turns asking each other these questions. So, for example, one question is, what made you fall in love with me?
Oh, wow.
And so I totally love that. I love that one. And then another one was, what is your favorite childhood memory? So again, that's not really specifically about your relationship, yes. But you're just, if you don't already know that about your spouse.
And some of us have been together for a long time. So that sounds like for newbies, like people who haven't gone for a date night before, and we are trying to figure out like what's your childhood, like your best childhood memory. But what about for veterans like us, people who have been there, done that?
So, okay.
Because when I go for a date night, I like just to ramble about either internet marketing or...
Yeah, I know. We know that.
Or just web design or something that I'm geeking out on at that time. So basically,
That's not just on a date. That's all the time. When do you not talk about that? So my question could be, when will you not talk about marketing?
Okay.
Answer that one. So, and I'm glad you brought that up because one of the questions on here is, what's a question you've never asked me? So whether
you know what?
Whether you've been together for a long time,
we
or
can
a
do it
short
right
time.
now. What's a question that you've never asked me, and I'll answer it on the podcast.
I've never asked you the other one. What's your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory was, no,
Don't have one.
don't have one.
Okay. So another question. There are other questions on here, like what turns you on, and then another totally random one.
Yeah, what turns you on?
If you could live anywhere in the world,
Hello.
where would it be?
Hello.
So no, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're just so random. Another one is, what fears do you have? Another one is, what brings you the most joy? So these are really, really great for couples who don't have a chance to talk to each other very much. Because me and you talk all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like that one about
So actually, we need to go to silent on a silent date or something.
Yeah, ours should be like no talking for 2 hours. Because even the one like, what brings you joy, we talk all the time about how, oh, our kids are so cute. Oh, did you see what she just did? Like, we're always in that euphoria.
Yeah.
So, but there are couples who do not have a lot of opportunities.
But there's sometimes
to talk.
like last week we were not in that euphoria. We were in some dysphoria. Do you want to talk about that?
Whatever. and then what would be a different career that you think you would love? That's an interesting question.
Mm.
And then, what's your favorite date night that you've ever had with me? That's an interesting question too.
There's some of those questions to me, and I've been around you for a long time. There's no, like, it's some of those questions you just don't answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you plead the fifth.
Oh, please.
Because
yeah, you poor thing.
Yeah, you plead the fifth because if you don't, you'll be in trouble. It's like you are damned if you do or you don't.
Okay, then what about this one? What can I do to make sure you feel safe with me? It sounds like sounds like we need to cover that one.
Yeah.
And then, if you could meet one famous person, who would it be?
You.
So, famous,
okay.
Yeah.
You're famous.
So, I just think that these are really, really great if you're planning on going for a date night, or maybe you guys have gone for a lot of date nights, because it seems like when we go out, we either talk about the news or because like if the restaurant we're going to has a TV playing, we're like, oh my gosh, look at that.
Can you believe what they're doing right now? Can you believe what Trump did?
We're sitting there like staring at the TV, and then but usually it's like Major League Baseball, blech,
yeah,
or something like that. But
do you remember there was a time we went to a restaurant and it was such a nice restaurant, and we were all dressed up for a date night, and what they were showing on TV was this like a gun, like a shootout somewhere, like this. Do you remember?
Oh,
it was like really crazy. Some shootout somewhere.
That's horrible.
And pretty much the whole time they had like Anderson Cooper on TV just spewing a lot of like.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, we went to like a really nice restaurant.
Really nice restaurant.
They played like funky TV shows like Law and Order, like the gruesome ones. So we're sitting there like having this romantic date, and then they start playing like the most horrific news stories, and I'm like, wow.
And you know the funny
think I'm
thing
ready
is,
to go.
So needless to say, I didn't like the experience, but the problem is I love the food.
Mm-hmm. Oh
then,
yeah, that's
and
like
then
one
so
of
I
my
went back.
favorite
Remember we went back,
yeah.
And the owner was so rude.
We have some really interesting stories. So, but anyway, just if it's a peaceful experience, then definitely stick with those kind of restaurants, because we want date night to be a good time.
Oh yeah.
We want it to be something that helps you forget about the stress that you've gone through in your day or in your week. And so it's just a time to relax and enjoy with your that special someone. So that's really the whole point. And then not having the kids there, that's really, really huge.
Yes, not having the kids is huge. Not that we don't love our kids, but sometimes we just need some me time.
You just need that break from them. You definitely, as a couple, need to have that chance to just at least have a conversation that is not interrupted. And that's kind of hard to do.
And we really believe a lot in this idea of going for a date night. So I think maybe we should put together maybe a PDF or you can just to give people like date night ideas.
The ideal date night.
And we are looking more for couples who have been together for a while, and they have either kids or they have other things going on, so that because sometimes we just need to be a little bit creative. And sometimes when you look online to find like date night ideas, some of them are for people who don't have kids, like little kids. So they don't have that whole like I need to go and figure out where, like the whole day, like the whole daycare thing or the whole babysitter thing. And we have a couple friends who they actually share somebody to babysit the kids when they go for date nights. And that actually in itself, it's being creative, but at the same time, you're splitting up the babysitter costs and you're able to have your date night. We sometimes even we check in the kids at the Y and spend some time at the Y, the YMCA, maybe at the hot tub, or we swim together and things like that, which is like we are being creative in terms of like where are we going to take the kids, but at the same time we're able to spend time by ourselves.
Oh yeah, totally. We love that. We love going to the whirlpool at the Y and everything. But for a lot of us, including ourselves, budget sometimes is an issue. And so date night definitely does not have to be expensive. You don't have to go to a fine restaurant every single week, or you don't have to go to a fine restaurant at all. You can go for a walk in the park. There are just so many different things that you can come up with. And another issue is if you don't always have a babysitter. There have been a couple of times when we didn't have anybody to watch our kids for us, and so we had the kids sit down and watch a movie while we had our own little, we fed them.
I remember.
Yes. We gave them their little the food that they like, and then we had our own candlelight dinner at the dining table, just the two of us. And so that was actually, I have to say, that did work out really well.
Yes. And the funny thing is, even the kids, I remember they were talking about it the other day. They were making fun of us, but like they were just happy, like being funny about it. But we made it work.
Yeah, we went and we got the takeout food that we wanted, and it totally worked. I mean, they were well behaved and it was great. We still had a chance to chit chat and enjoy our food and everything. Yes. So I loved it. And then after, when it was time for the kids to go to bed, then we watched a movie.
Yeah.
So it's
because we had already set the mood. And then we had already set up the mood, and after the movie,
the mood. So honestly, you can come up with a ton of ideas on just different ways that you can find that peaceful time for the two of you, because it is so needed.
Yes.
To keep your relationship strong.
And it doesn't have to be that, like, it doesn't have to be very expensive, and it doesn't have to be so elaborate that it just drains you as you're planning this date night. Like, because there's some folks who make it to be this huge, complicated thing that either they don't want to do it again because it's like preparing for Thanksgiving dinner. Like, it's so complicated that you don't want to do it again. Or you spend so much money that maybe some folks, like, you even break the bank. Okay, I don't think you... But you get the picture. Like, it's like, okay, nobody wants to go through that experience again.
It doesn't have to be elaborate.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, it can be as elaborate as you want it to be, or it can be as simple as you want it to be. And it's what's really interesting is once we got into the habit, like once we developed a routine for date night, we literally did not want to miss a week. And
Yes.
so even on the coldest days of the year, I mean, we still made sure that we had a date night.
And guys, we're in Kansas, so the coldest day of the year is maybe 10 degrees
Well,
with the wind chill.
we've had a few that were
Because
colder than that.
some folks are listening in Alaska and they will be like, your coldest day of the year is like one of our warmest day here.
And then yeah, here in Kansas we have something called wind.
Oh, now that makes it
That
worse.
totally like beats you up as you're getting in and out of your car. So that's the really cool thing about it is even on the worst
Mhm.
wintry days, I mean, we did not want to miss our date. And
Yes.
and if you think about it, I mean, even on those days, kids were still getting out and going to school
Mhm.
anyway. So it's not like, oh, why did you get your kids out on the coldest day of the year? It's like, well, no, they went to school.
Mhm.
So why not? Like, why can't we do something fun in the evening?
Yes.
They can spend time with their grandparents
Oh,
while we hang out. And so that's like, that's what I love about it is when you get into the routine of it, you don't want to miss it.
And and just basically the idea is it doesn't matter at what stage you are in your relationship, like you're brand new, that date nights just are so easy to do, or you have been together for so long that it's like a process to create one. There's no excuse
Mhm.
not to have a date night.
Mhm.
And with a little creativity, you can make it work with or without a lot of complications.
Right. And I think another issue is there are some couples who have not been together for a long time. So they might make the assumption that they don't really need a date night.
Yeah.
But really, I think it is super important to go ahead and start that routine, even if you've only been together for a little while, a year or two. Just go ahead because that's going to help you build a stronger bond, and it's just gonna really
like
help your
you're basically you're
relationship.
starting
Yeah.
on the right footing.
Exactly. Because I mean, you definitely don't want to find yourself in a rut 5 years later, and you're like, okay, well,
What happened
what
here?
do we do?
What happened?
Now?
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, I definitely agree with you that this is something that we should keep it front and center.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Totally. So, do you have any other ideas or suggestions?
No.
For date night? Okay. So, folks, again, this is actually one of our biggest tips because I think it's something that saved our marriage, and so we like to encourage dates. And what happened for us actually is a few years back, Peso was working probably, I would say 6 days a week.
Yes.
Or 6 nights a week. He was a nurse, and so he was doing 12-hour nights, and then we didn't really have a lot of time left together, and I had just had our third baby. So it got pretty rough, as you can imagine. We were homeschooling and everything. So not for me, I know the biggest issue was feeling like I just didn't have another adult to talk to.
Yes.
I had my friends and everything. I was going to the Y, but still, I just felt like, okay, it would be nice if me and my husband at least had some time
Yes.
together, just at least to
talk,
chill out and have a conversation. And so date night really, honestly, I would say kept us together.
Oh yeah.
During some really tough times. So I guess that's
and sometimes it's actually something you're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah, and that was a huge thing for me because it was this really awesome activity that I knew I could look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was coming up, and so that really helped me even just deal with my stress and everything that I was going through. And because I knew I was going to have that break.
Yes.
I just, I was just like so excited. And the kids also used to get excited too. I mean, they still do, because that's their fun time to go spend time with their grandparents.
Yes.
So it was a total win-win for all of us. And I highly, highly recommend it. And it might not always be easy to find time in your schedule, but once you do, it's so worth it.
I know. So, that's all right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So like for, what you can do is you can either tweet us you can tweet my wife at Whitney Shire or me at Pesa Shire, but mostly my wife. Mm-hmm. And just give her ideas on what you guys do for your date night. Maybe we can pick up some more ideas and actually spice up our date night.
Mm-hmm. Right? Absolutely. We love that. Yeah, I'm on Twitter like
all the time.
Like pretty much all the time. Yeah, we totally love that, getting questions and comments and stuff like that. So we're always sure to answer.
Yes.
So folks, we will be back again on Friday, and also we just want to remind you that we do have that video series coming up in September, and we cannot wait for you all to see that. So we will be back, and thank you so much for listening.
Okay, bye and God bless.
Are you tired of being upset, lonely, feeling empty, or just plain frustrated with your marriage? And no matter how hard you try, you're not getting anywhere, just going in circles? No matter how much you try to make time for one another in your schedule, or how many times you say, "I'm sorry," Pesa and I have put together 99 ideas to help you connect with that one special person, so that things can start to be more like the way they were before everyday life got in the way and caused the two of you to drift apart. We want you to have 99 ways to show love to your spouse, absolutely free. You can find it at 99waystoshowlovetoyourspouse.com. Because here at Live Your Best Marriage, we truly hope that the two of you can move closer together and enjoy the connection that comes from achieving a stronger bond. Again, that's 99waystoshowlovetoyourspouse.com. That's the number 99waystoshowlovetoyourspouse.com.